right, Julius Burrell, welcome to the My Tribe podcast. Thank you so much for coming on here, Julius.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to have you. We met at a chance encounter on Halloween night, just happened to be rubbing elbows at American Social, ended up, to this awesome, connection here. And yeah, just feel so blessed.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Thanks, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What brought you here today? Like where have you been in your journey that is it's just you've told me a little bit about it. Just want you to be able to take the floor, run with it.
Okay. Okay. Again, my name is Julius Burrell, everybody. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm currently living in the sunny state, Fort Lauderdale, in the nice Florida, weather. And I'm bragging for all the people watching or who will be watching, because I know you're probably in the cold right now. My background's in exercise science, so I've been in the fitness industry for over 16 years. I was working for a company before, managing the company, and one day I told myself, what can I do for myself? So I started my first business in 2011, a fitness center, 24/7 gym. Now I have security companies. So I have security companies now, and that's pretty much my background, pretty much. And I'm big into personal development. I've been in personal development since 2009, and I've done a lot of different courses. I've done a lot of master classes as well too, because I believe that the better you become a better version of yourself, the better you will be for others as well too. Especially you can help others achieve the same platform.
I noticed that in I know we had lunch together, and you're very passionate about others, about passing that along. And even just the encounter we had with the waitress, that was kind of, she didn't really know where she was headed down the road, and to see you challenge her with some powerful questions of, what are your goals? That was like I sat back in my chair like, oh, all right, I like this little bit of little coaching, but it wasn't with a like a salesy undertone. It was more of like a general caring and wanting to pass it along and wanting that be better, the concept of being better.
Mhm.
That's my interpretation of it. What was, what was going through your mind at that
I would
moment?
say the same thing. I think that we've all been in our life at a certain level that maybe lost a little bit, or not the word lost, but we might have not been at where we want to be in life.
Mhm.
And now, for me being in personal development, how it changed my life, and I think that when you be a blessing to others, and a blessing can be giving great words to someone, encouraging words. Don't we think about blessings, sometimes we think about giving people money, but you can give people, advice that could probably change their entire life. Because I've learned, Patrick, most people don't have a vision. As I asked her, the waiter, I asked her, what type of goals. She didn't have a goal. She said, I don't have a goal. And not just her, a lot of people, I ask that question all the time, what is your goal? And King Solomon said, best, without the vision, the people what? They perish. So most people, that's why they perish. And that's why they never reach their full potential, but certain things that you can probably occur to someone. And then, she might have, realized what went on in her day, that conversation that we talked about. And she might have went home and probably say, you know what, I need to, do this. I need to do that. So words of encouragement, you can change someone's life. You can impact somebody's life when you don't even know you're packing. And I think that's how you get your blessings even more. So you get blessed even more when you're helping others.
Mm. Wow, that one conversation, I agree with you. It doesn't just happen in those 5 minutes. It happens. Wow, I never realized I don't have a vision. I never realized I don't have a goal. What would be your advice to somebody who is lacking that vision or lacking that goal? Somebody who doesn't really going through the monotony of the day to day. Where they came to you and said, Julius, what do I do? How do I get there?
Great question. First of all, I always tell people that you got to put yourself in a different environment. So most people, the environment that they're in, they hold them back. Whoever you tune into, you turn into, you know, and pretty much will entertain you, pretty much train you. And whoever you have your ear, pretty much have your life. And most people have negative people in their life. They have the negative Nancy's, sour Steve, scary Larry's in their ear. And, you become those type of people. It could be anything in life. You might be want to do something and a friend or family member say, oh, you can't do that. You're wasting your time. And they talk them out of it at the same time because they just don't believe that things can happen. So it makes a big difference, your environment. So that's the number one thing that I always tell a person. You have to put yourself in a good environment. Because now what comes with the environment, the relationships. And the relationships, Patrick, was going to help change people's lives, by them taking action, but also not leaning on their own understanding as well, too, because certain things don't supposed to make sense to you. Because if everything makes sense to us, we'll be a lot far in our life. So you're going to have things that come to you. It might sound like, whoa, I don't know about this. But that's why the Bible speaks and lean not on your own understanding. Because you're going to have a lot of things that come to you. It don't supposed to make sense. And from that point, you get yourself in a good environment. Now you have a mentor. Because you do need a mentor. You need someone to hold you accountable for certain things. And if you just take action in it and don't worry how, lead a how to the Most High. And from that point, that's when the magic will start happening in your life. And then you'll start seeing more. You'll start seeing more. You'll start visualizing more. Because now you put yourself in an environment where you see people like yourself, how their life is changing, how their whole, pretty much everything has started changing because the circle that they put themselves around made a big difference.
Do you have an example of how that may have occurred for you?
Okay, I could probably use this. I didn't come from a lot of money. My parents was hardworking people, as I mentioned to you when we was talking last week. They was hardworking people. They had, regular jobs. My mom had her own daycare. My dad, he worked at a company and didn't have a lot. It was 6 of us growing up. We was right behind each other in age. So we, literally a year behind each other. 4 girls, I'm the 5th, my brother the 6th. So it was tough, because like I said, my parents didn't have a lot of money at the time, man. 6 kids.
5 to 6 ways. That's tough. Yeah.
That's tough, but I give my parents credit. They did the best that they can do at the time. But they always taught, us to, do the things that you want to do. But most important, have a good name. Because a good name can take you, far in anything. Integrity is everything.
Good name, you said?
A good name, having a good name.
Gotcha.
Because imagine if your name is bad, somebody here, oh, that's Patrick, that's the guy, who's, he lies, he do this and that. And you can have all the money in the world. But if a person here, Patrick, and they say, oh, Patrick, man, he's a great guy, he, helped me out with this. He gave me some great advice. That good name will take you more than riches. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, going back, I strive to have a good name, but I also strive to, be the best version of myself. And how I, became the best version of myself, constantly. It's an everyday process. You never stop trying to be the best version of yourself. I'm always constantly, Patrick, working on myself. I'm listening to positive things. Before this call, I was listening to, manifestation. I'm listening to, I'm feeding my faith, as I said, and I'm starving my fears. certain things. But you got to constantly listen to positive things all the time. I was reading a book maybe a couple months ago, and I forgot the name of the book, but I remember, the words, and it was saying that we have over 7,000 thoughts per day,
Mm-hmm.
and most of them are negative. So imagine if you're in a bad environment. Imagine that you got a lot of negative people, saying things to you, that you're in a toxic. 99.9% of, your thoughts is going to be negative. You
Mm,
see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
now imagine that
Right.
you're in a great environment. You tune into a lot of positive things. Most of them thoughts are going to be positive. And to me, that's how you change your life. Your thoughts, because, your thoughts become the belief part of it. And then the action, you got to take action in anything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's what started changing my life really more. My thoughts change. I wasn't probably never in a bad environment. I say I was in a horrible environment because I'm very, aware of who I put myself around. But, I was doing things on my own, Patrick. And I think that doing things on your own is still a bad environment because, you can only get yourself to the level that you can get by yourself. So when I started putting myself in positive groups, people that was, who was winning, that's when my life started changing even more. That's when the quantum leap hit, that my life started quantum leaping, not just in finance, but in this and changing, the person who I want to be.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And I have I understand what you're explaining. I understand, you get around good people, you become you become the five people you hang around most. As my dad always
That's
says,
right.
five bad friends, you're going to be the fifth bad friend.
That's right.
And I think that, in terms of like getting into a better environment, is there a recommendation that you have? Like, go here, do this. What would, better environment, somebody at that neutral like line. All right, I can go down this road, I can go down this road. What does the proper road look? Because we all know what the bad road looks like: drinking and drugging, going out, clubbing. All.
Right.
What would a step in the right direction be for somebody who's like, I think that's for me. I think I could do it, but I don't really know where to go. Like, how do you get around great people like you're saying?
That's a great point. I think it starts from, because most people think about money. Most people have money, that's in a great environment. But sometimes it can start off with listening to positive things. You might go on YouTube. You might be watching a lot of negative stuff on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You might be having a bad environment with people, friends. You might need to change your environment with that a little bit. You might need to start picking up a positive book and reading certain things. Because sometimes it's hard okay, I'm gonna put myself in this environment, but we can all listen to positive things. We can all, pick up a book and read. Say if you don't like to read, you got Audible now. You can listen to, Audible, things like that. You can go on YouTube and listen to, certain things that's dealing with personal development. Because I think when you start listening to positive things, it puts yourself away from the negative a little bit. It puts yourself away from, people who might not have good intentions, or still never want to grow at the same time. Not saying that, if you've been friends with someone for over 30 years and, you really don't have a lot in common, but you separate a little bit from that person, you might not be able to talk to that person constantly like you talk to them all the time because you're changing, you're growing at the same time. And sometimes you grow away from people like that. Not saying that you can't never, talk on the phone or anything like that, but when you're on a path of growing, you start separating yourself from that environment of people, and you start meeting other people because your circle is a lot different now. Because you're tuning into more positive people that might be in a different group, like personal development. They have different sites. Bob Proctor used to have, a Facebook group. It used to be free sometimes.
Mhm.
And you have people coming on there, he give his seminar on it and things like that. You still have positive things that you can listen to and put yourself out of that negative environment. You might be listening to a lot of bad music. You might need to pull away from social media if you're using it the wrong way.
Mhm. Mhm.
So certain things I think it start from, your daily activities. What are your daily activities? Are you listening to positive things on TV? News can be negative.
It can be.
News can be
Most
very
things,
negative.
yeah, it
Yes,
can be.
very negative.
Mhm.
So I rarely watch the news.
Mhm.
Do I watch it every once in a while? Yeah, I might catch it on the sofa, and I might, just have it on the news station for a second, but I try not to listen to a lot of negative,
Mhm. Mhm.
because it gets to your subconscious, and that's what hold us back, Patrick. Things that's getting inside our subconscious.
Mhm.
So just to answer your question again, mainly I think it started back from the things that we tune into, and what we have to do, we have to substitute that with positive things. Read a book, pick up something that's, the things, laws of attraction. You have so many different things how we can break certain habits with.
Mhm.
I think, just listening, you got things like YouTube is great. You got Audible books. You got different things that they might have in the community, just for business, people trying to start a business. You got so many different things that you can do that's positive, that you don't have to feel like I need money to put myself in, an environment like this.
Like that. Those are very viable options. I like that. In terms of going back to the daily activities, what are, I guess, three non-negotiable daily activities for yourself?
Um, I don't have a number. I think that I've done a course with Bob Proctor before, and it said, what you should do, everybody should do, write down 6 things that night before you go to bed that started from the things that you have to do in order. And you have to complete it before you move to the next task.
Mhm.
So I try to, I follow that steps because I felt like I was busy doing this, I was busy doing that. Felt like I wasn't productive. I was busy getting the same results. And Patrick, some of the people are busy being broke.
Yeah, that same
you
cycle.
know,
Same cycle.
this
Yeah.
So what I did, from that course that I took from Bob Proctor, I think it helped me after 2 months because it told me to keep doing it over and over and get organized with my day. And I start writing down everything before, okay, I need to do this. This is the first thing I need to do tomorrow. I can't go to the next step 2, till I complete step 1. Step 2, same thing. I can't go to step 3 till I complete what I have to do. And to me, that's what makes you more productive instead of busy. And
Mm.
then that productive lead to being effective. And to me, when you're effective in anything, your daily routine, you have mastered, that's when things start coming in your life, start really changing a lot because you getting things done. Because we all have 24 hours out of the day, Patrick, but it's what we do with our time that determines that results. So when a person tell me I'm busy, I'm a bit, no, you're not being productive with your time. And to me, I was like that. Like I said, I was like that for a while till I started taking that course and I started, working on it every day. because it's a process. It don't just change overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I started working on it, working on it. And that's when, things start changing up for me. So your routine is everything. It makes a huge difference, the routine, what you do.
Mm. What's your routine look like?
Um, get up in the morning, gratitudes. Um, I'm always thankful. You have to be thankful for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, write my gratitudes out. Then I always write left-handed. A little scripture. It's a word. It's a phrase that I write, and I do that because it works on your left side of your brain.
You're normally right-handed.
I'm normally right-handed,
Okay.
but if I write left-handed, I write something to get it out. Right. All right. I'm so happy and grateful now that I realize my spiritual DNA is perfect and that perfection is within me. I begin each day looking for areas of my life where I want to see that perfection expressed habitually. I
Mm.
write that left-handed. I've been writing that now for about 3 years. My left hand probably write better than my right hand. But
Really?
what it do, it works on your opposite side of your brain to be more creative. So I do that. I work out. Back in working out. Um, and I have my daily routine with business going as well too. So then I train people in forex trading. So I do that. I have some clients as well too. And I mentor a lot of people. So I have people calling me out throughout the day. So I mentor a lot of people globally around the world.
Mm. What's that like?
Um, this the things that they need, quantum leaping, and when it comes to business, um, being productive,
Mm-hmm.
more of that area more than anything, being productive. A lot of people they struggle with when it comes to business, or they struggle with when it comes to certain distractions in our life. And I think the distractions and fears and that all of it, habits, it holds us back. So we need someone to hold us accountable. I need it. I have a mentor. So I have to have that as well too. A billionaire needs a mentor. So you have to have somebody to hold you accountable for certain things. My mentor, he's a billionaire. His mentor is a millionaire, multimillionaire. So um, you need that.
Wow. Have that influence in your life, and or to be that influence in their life as you serve for them. I mean, it must be really powerful. Must be really
Oh, you
impactful.
need it. You have to. That's how I think that's when my life started changing even more. Going back into the environment. You know, but I had to make the decision first. The decision had to be there. I felt like I was stuck for a while. I felt like I wasn't moving forward like I wanted to. I'm making okay money, but growing the way I know I could. Quantum leaping with my results. I felt like I was having a hard time. Then I got back into personal development heavily, and I think once I started changing some of my habits, I got this book Mike said called Paradigm Shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I started writing up my gratitudes every day, what I'm grateful for. And I was writing for the future, for the present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that speaking that I had what I wanted now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the feeling is the secret, getting the feeling that what you want. So I was speaking what I had. I was meditating that I had it now, and I was showing gratitude that I have it now. And from that point, this my life started changing because my habits started changing. My thoughts started changing. And how your thoughts start changing, the more you see it, you write it, you speak it, that's changed your thoughts. And I think that's what's most people's problem. Their thoughts are so negative. And again, going back into the environment of it. And that's where they have to, some people paradigm, what is called a paradigm. Paradigms make right look wrong and wrong look right, meaning that it make you think you're doing something right, but you're actually not. And think it's something that comes to your pathway that might be like, I don't think that's for me, but it could be for you at the same time. That's what how strong the paradigms is. That's why the Bible said, lean not on your own understanding, but we have to seek counsel. We have to seek advice, not other people's opinion. Because, Patrick, when we buy someone's opinion, we buy people's lifestyle. Life is what we have on this call, but the style is the way we live in it. So we have to get with someone who have the results and that can help us get to that same point where we can spread it, but we can help a plethora of people on the way. First, we have to help ourselves before we can help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then once our life started changing, you have to help others because that's how you got help. But that's how you keep continually growing. That's you see billionaires, they always looking for something. They always looking to keep growing. They always never stop. Most of them could just be at a private island, just drinking and having a great time, partying constantly. But you always see them, they have multiple things that going on in business wise.
Mm-hmm.
They helping a lot of people. They start put jobs, creating a lot of things that people working in. So you have to continually keep growing at the same. It don't stop once you get us. It can't just be about the money. The money is the rewarding piece of it, but it's not everything. It don't bring you completely happiness. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to keep continually, just growing and giving back, helping. That's what I want to do, start a lot of more businesses, create business because everybody don't have the mindset to start a business. We know everybody won't be a business owner. Some people just don't want to do that. They prefer working for people.
Mm-hmm.
And we need those type of people anyway. The people who's, want to work for someone, they just don't want to take the task, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. Now, something keeps coming back. Lean not on your own understanding. Where in your life has that, where did that occur for you?
Great question. Mm. Um, I'm gonna probably say maybe two things probably that jumps out at me. First time I had a chance to invest in Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
someone brought it to me. I'm the type of person I'm always open though. I might not jump on it like I should. Now it's a little bit different once they have the evidence. But I didn't do my evidence at the time. And that's what made me not jump onto it. I said yeah, but I procrastinated. And at the time, I could have caught it when it was right around about 6 cents. I knew a guy that made over 300 million from Bitcoin.
Mm.
He jumped on it. You know, I didn't, because I felt like, what is a Bitcoin? What the heck is that? I thought it was some type of junk. It didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes back if I was in the environment, if I wasn't doing things on my own, I would have been in an environment where people was winning. People had better insights than me on it. He was. I wasn't. I wasn't in a bad environment, but I was in an environment doing my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when things came to me that didn't make sense to me, I leaned on my own understanding. I was like, I don't understand that. I invest in it, but I didn't. And that's what made me made a slow decision. And Napoleon Hill speaks on successful people make quick decisions once they have the evidence that they need. It don't have to be everything, all evidence, because you don't supposed to have all the evidence. It's supposed to be a little evidence. And unsuccessful people make slow decisions, and get out of things very quickly, and I had to put myself in that category, unsuccessful, even though I started a business at that time. But I wasn't that successful as those type of people was who make quick decisions. And I missed the opportunity that I know right then and there that could have probably changed generations of wealth for my family, because I had the opportunity to get in it, but I didn't get in it. And another opportunity, all came around the same time. Wow, that's now thinking back on it now. I started my fitness center. This guy came up to me, he came to my gym. He played football at the University of Alabama in Birmingham. And he was telling me about, this nutrition company that just started. It was a direct sales company at the time. And he was like, man, this would be great for your business. He said, man, it's going to be a lot of us making millions from it. And I didn't get in it. I was starting my business. I thought about, the money, everything was tight at the time. Mm-hmm. And I didn't make the decision to get in. Me and a friend that we went to high school together, but both of them played college football together on the same team. And my other friend was like, man, I ain't getting that jump. That's probably some bull crap. But I knew the excitement that he had on it, the passion that he had. I liked the market strategy, but I just didn't get in. And a year later, my friend saw him in a magazine. He became a multimillionaire. Wow. He became a multimillionaire in that company. So that's why things come to us. And we don't supposed to have all the answers for it. We don't supposed to know the how. The how is not for us. And, that's what goes back on leaning out on your own understanding, because your understanding is getting you where you've been comfortable with. And it's supposed to be things that's uncomfortable to you, things that you don't have a lot of knowledge on. Because that right there's going to help change your life once you get the evidence. If it makes sense, that's what can change your entire life. And most people, Patrick, they lean on their own understanding. They feel like they can't see it, or I need more information. I just need more. Once we have evidence, we want it. We want to be able to see how it's going to physically make us money. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work that way. Only way it can work that way is by you using your imagination. Like Albert Einstein said, he said, imagination is everything. It's the preview of life-coming attraction. Meaning that it's the preview. Your preview is meaning your thoughts that we hold. Mm-hmm. And that's why I keep saying environment. What you tune into, you turn into. What you see every day, you be every day. Because most people see a lot of negatives. How do you escape a prison when you don't even know you're in one? It's mindset-wise. Most people are living in prison, Patrick, with their mind. Because you're not doing what you really, your God-given gifts. You live in a prison and you don't even know you're in one. Because you're living with your mind. Harriet Tubman said it best, I freed 1,000 slaves. Could have freed 1,000 more. Only if they knew they was a slave. Think about that. I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more. Only if they knew they was a slave. Mindset-wise. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So I believe that we can we can achieve anything. But it starts off not leaning on our own understanding when things come in our pathway. I believe God put things in our pathway for us, you know, and a lot of people could change their entire life. While most people ask, why God allowed this? Why God allowed that? God give us the choice. He give us the decision at the end of the day. They thinking God, there's going to be a magic wand and things that's going to probably, it doesn't work that way. He works through us. Now we're made in the image of likeness of him that makes us a God ourselves. The difference, he's the big G, we the little G's. That's the difference, but we're made in the image and likeness of him. So meaning that we can have anything that we want, but he works through us. So it's what we put out with ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's very impactful. It seems like your faith and your religious background is a lot of impact on your belief, your self-belief. Can you go into a little bit how that's been important for you in your journey?
Um, I grew up, in the church. My parents kept me in the church heavily. I would not say that I'm super religious.
Mm.
Um, I believe in the Most High. I believe in, God. I believe that, things what the Bible speaks on. I like to read. I like to, listen to, sometimes the Bible as well too. I like to read different books on certain things that help us with our life. Like to me, personal development is part of it. It's just a different form of a science of it. And I think for me, my background from when I was little, my parents kept me in the church, especially my mom. She was heavily, in the church, growing up, so I didn't have a choice but to go at the same time. Now, once I became adult, it was my choice to do what I want to do from that point, you know. But it goes back, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a super religious person,
Okay, I didn't
you
mean
know.
to put that on you, but I just,
No. You're good. You're good. You're good.
so passionate, like King Solomon, all of these amazing, Bible
Yes.
you're going back to, and
And I'm a storyteller.
yeah,
I like to,
storytelling.
read. I resonate with stories.
Mm.
I resonate with it. If I see something, I'm a visual person. I can remember the first time when I went overseas, and I got a chance to, see one of the seventh wonders, you know, still standing before Christ. I will never get a chance to, I will always remember that. I could live to be 100 years old. I will always remember that because I saw it physically, something that I read. Now I saw it with visual. So I'm more of when it comes to stories, even different books, even I was watching a movie. I was telling, person who I mentor, I said, man, I was watching this movie from 1985 on YouTube. And I said, it's a corny movie. He remembers because he's a little older than me. He like, yeah, I remember that movie. It'll be corny this day because how the movies have changed. But it was a kung fu picture and it was all based in New York. And you had who was the master? The master was the kung fu.
Mm-hmm.
And if you became, you got power, your body will start growing and you have more power.
Okay.
So all the times I've seen that movie, and I haven't seen it a long time, but I pulled it up. I started pulling pieces from it, Patrick. Like, wow, this lines up with this, with life. This lines up with this. The power is within you. He
Mm.
was looking for the master, one of the guys, And he went to this kung fu guy, who trained him. He was like, man, it's only one place that you haven't looked, and it is there, only there. He was fighting this guy who was a bully, and the guy was like, everybody was scared of him because he was a big time bully, and he was looking for the master, so he could get some answers. And him and the guy was fighting, and the guy was like drowning him in the water. He was picturing back on certain things was leading him to, he's the master. And the third time he put his face in he started remembering certain stuff. What the guy said, there's only one place. And he pulled his head out. He was like, I'm gonna ask you one more time. It's crazy. He said, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Who's the master? He said, I am. He was in the punch. He said, I'm the master. But the master is in you. The power is in you. The glow is in you. So everyone have that. Some people just don't know that. So I watch that movie every time, and I got a meaning from them. The songs on it. It was saying the words, because now you tune into a lot of positive stuff. You read a lot of stuff. Even songs that we listen to, we might have heard that song 100 times, but it have a meaning to life. So you start picking up certain things like that. So I was like, wow. It's amazing, but I've watched that picture since I was a kid. And I went back on it. Some told me this, hey, watch. I went on YouTube, started watching it, and I started picking up on certain things. What's inside you, what makes you grow to the next level. The power is within you. Everybody have it. Some people just never tap into it. They never tap into it, they believe. Their environment, they never grow. And they always never reach their full potential. The richest place in the world, Patrick, what would you say the richest place in the world? Some people might say South Africa because of the gold mine.
Dubai,
what would you say?
oil, Midwest, all that.
Most people would say Dubai because of the oil. But the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And the reason why, how many people have never reached their full potential? They die young age or die old, never reaching there. They had so many talent, gifts buried, never tapped into it.
Wow.
The richest place in the world is the graveyard. So before I leave this world, I have a lot of unfinished business. I haven't tapped to my full potential and gifts yet. I have to help a lot of people, Patrick. And when you help change people's lives, again, that's how your life started changing, because you impacted that. You was a part of that. But that's the richest place in the world, a graveyard.
Wow. That's a powerful statement. I wanna sit with that a little bit these next couple of days, man. Thank you. In that light, I'd like to ask my guests, when they reach that graveyard, when they reach the end of their road, what is it that you want to leave behind? What is it? How do you want to be remembered, Julius? How is that you want people to say, man, Julius, that was, finish that sentence.
I want to say Julius, he was great, not good, but he was great. He impacted a lot of people's lives. And the reason why I said great, not good, because good is not synonymous with great. They're different. So I want people to say that, Julius, my name, when people say my name, that he's helped a lot of people. He's helped change a lot of people's lives. Good come behind Julius. Great come behind Julius, not good. But people see that you've helped change so many people's lives. again, because if I've helped change a lot of people's lives, my life changed. My life changed tremendously. You look at some of the most prominent people on earth, they've impacted a lot of people's lives, you know, a lot of people. You can't help everyone, of course, but you've changed a lot of people's lives. You impacted, you broke a lot of generations of curse. You was a part of that seed that break generations of curse for people. So I want to, reach a milestone that just tap into something that even about my dream, I didn't dream of this happening. I didn't dream of how my life would be. Broke generations of curses for, my generations for, it could be 1,000 years down the road. I was proud of that big piece of it. That's how I want my life to end, and that's why, I always start with my vision, but also writing out my vision as well too. You got to write it out because you got to be able to see it, because it's hard to see that. But the more you write it down, the more you think about it constantly, and you see yourself at the finishing point, how I want my life to be. I'm finished at the finish point of it, not seeing myself trying to get there, but see myself accomplishing it already. That's what helps change your thoughts. And you, whatever, Mark 9:23, it says that, if thou canst to believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. So whatever your desire, whatever you want, if your goal is to be a billionaire, Patrick, you can become a billionaire. If your goal is to, be philanthropic, where you're helping a lot of, organizations, giving, you can achieve that. If you truly believe it. And that's, what I look at before I leave this world. I've accomplished everything. I'd accomplished, like Kobe Bryant, God bless his soul. He died at 41 years old. That's young.
Very young.
41 years old. I'm using him because he was well known. And plus, I was a fan of him too. I'm a diehard Laker fan. And we was around the same age. 41, but he accomplished what people don't see in 2 or 3 lifetimes. People go on YouTube and pull him up. 100 years down the road, his name would still be there. They would still be talking about him. So in a very short period of time, 41 years. So imagine what we can do. Imagine what we can do.
Wow.
And most people think they have to be to you 85, 90, 100. No, it can happen in a couple of years. You can change your milestone in months. You have a quantum leap in certain areas. You never know how your life starts changing, but it starts with the belief first.
Now, when you go into that belief, you go into that, believe, start with the end and go end in mind, essentially. Do you have an example of something that you've experienced that in your life?
Probably started my first business. When I started my first business in 2011, the journey of it, as I mentioned, I didn't come from a lot of money. I had my vision and I saw it with my imagination. I felt it. I remember my logo and I'm like, I'm doing something with the globe or something. I could see it. Didn't even have it in the stones at the time. But I saw it with my imagination and I got the feeling of it. And me going through the journey of that, starting my own business, didn't have a lot of money, a lot of doubters, a lot of negative people saying this and oh, he's crazy. Because again, your environment can't see that because most of them don't believe that things can happen that way. So from that point, I was disciplined and I was working on my project every day. And I think once I got it open and people, the naysayers, even some said, man, I thought you was crazy. I didn't think you was going to, that taught me that I could do anything. It taught me I could do anything. I was in my 20s at the time. I was working at a company and I was able to do that without a lot of money. So it let me know right then that I could do all things. I can start anything that I want to. I can do anything that I want to. I can achieve anything. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve anything. And that's why that belief is so strong. Because I got a chance to see certain things where most people have dreams, but their dreams never come true, but they don't work toward their dreams either. Because it comes with trials and tribulations, with things, those obstacles thrown at you that throw you off target. But I kept going. I just kept I didn't know how it was going to happen. I had obstacles, but it didn't look like I was going to get it going and open. That's why the belief is so strong. Because I believe that we can do anything we put our mind into it.
With that anything, with that unfinished business that you're not done yet.
That's right.
What's next for you, Julius?
What's next for me? Continually growing. I was talking to a girl that I'm mentoring right now, probably about an hour, maybe about an hour and a half ago. And I told her, my goal is to, help over 100 people become millionaires. And she said, I'm gonna be one of the first ones, Julius. She's very successful. Very successful. She's probably making over about $300,000 to $400,000 a year. So she's very successful. Wow. Businesswoman, especially when I'm doing with the trading, industry. I got her onto trading. She see the vision of it. She's been very successful. So she's gonna definitely be that and more. She'll be a multimillionaire. She had the right mindset. She had the right mindset of helping people. She have an organization where she mentored a lot of college kids. So she's very successful. So we was just talking about that. Like I said, I got an unfinished business. I got to help a lot of people. A lot of people want to be helped. Again, you can't help everyone. Everybody don't want to help. And some people just won't have they just don't believe that things can happen to them. They don't believe that they can, make the money that they dream of having. And I understand that because at the end of the day, it's their choice. But the only thing I could be a vessel for information, be the information to help them, guide them to, to change in their lives. But at the end of the day, it's their decision. But I know that I'm gonna impact a lot of people's lives because somebody you will touch.
That's amazing. I love those goals. 100 millionaires.
100 millionaires.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Man, what's Elevate? What's that behind you there?
Oh man, that's the platform that I'm on, the trading platform.
Okay.
I believe Elevate will be the point to get their people to millionaires. It's already been, some millionaires from the platform that changed their life within a year from it. It's a trading platform. And you learn a skill set in a very short period of time what the world is going toward. And so many people now, when you learn a skill set, and not a 9 to 5 skill set, but a skill set that no one can take from you, that you can travel on a plane and you can still make money from it. And the industry is a $7.5 trillion industry a day. So it's letting you know how much money is being generated from that. 7.5 trillion. That's a quadrillion a year.
Wow.
So it's what the world is going toward. And I'm a part of it, you know, and it changed my life. You know, it changed my life, and it actually quantum leaped my life. And this right here is going to change a lot of people's lives. That's why, you know, my goal is to, you know, have 100+ millionaires with it. Because I know that once they, you know, really get into it, and they get in the community of it and learn the skill set of it, their life gonna change fast. And I've already changed a lot of people's lives with it. So I will probably, within the next, I'm gonna say the next maybe 4 to 6 months, I'll probably have maybe about 5 to 8 millionaires.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are some numbers there.
Well, yeah.
I love
It's
that.
that special. It's that special.
Amazing.
A lot of successful people are doing it. A lot of business owners are looking for other ways that can quantum leap them. I got judges, doctors, business owners, all different types of people who open to making more money. Because certain times you might look to do something and you might not get there like you want to. But like this right here, it helped me. I have my own business, but it helped me get there a lot faster. Now I could be able to do other things in my business as well too, because it gave me more money. This industry right here, once you learn it, money days is over. It's over. I got a friend of mine. He became a millionaire last year, within a year from it. He lived in Arizona. He taught it to his son. His son played college basketball, finished last year. His son have a podcast where they do like trading in a group. They came up with the app, and they're doing like scalp trades and killing it. 21 years old, he's been making right around about $20-some thousand a month.
Wow.
You know, so you learn the skill set in a very short period of time. So to me, it's what the world is going toward. But again, that's environment. If you're not in that environment, most people just won't believe that you can make that type of money. They'll be like, well, it sounds like a scam.
Seems like they have to lean on their own they can't be leaning on their own understanding.
Standing, right. And what happens, you know, we think everything is a scam because people have been scammed on certain stuff. But when you look up, you know, the Forex market, what it produced per day, you see that it's a 7.5 trillion when you look at the, you know, the numbers. And most of the time, scam pretty much means still confused about money. You know, most of us still confused about money. And we're afraid, you know, because you have heard of some horror stories on certain things that people, you know, oh, you know, this and that, or you might listen to a negative person. Yeah, do you have to do your evidence? Yes. You have to be, you just can't just jump into something. You know, but once you have the evidence, you know, it don't have to be the evidence that you have to see everything, but the evidence meaning that when I looked up the market and I saw that it was a 7.5 trillion, that's all I needed. Like, whoa, this trillion, I've never seen that before. Crypto is in the billions. Stock market is in the billions. But the Forex market is a 7.5 trillion a day. That's the evidence that's all I needed.
Gotcha.
So that's what this platform does. It educates a person, but it gives them the skill set that not what a person went to college for 4 years and still, broke or not doing something they feel unhappy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can do this in a couple of months, 2 months, and it can change your entire life. What a person making in weekly or bi-weekly, they can make that in a day or more with. You can dictate how much money you want to make from the market. And once you got the skill set, I'll tell you, especially I got a girl in Alabama right now. She's probably making right around about, I'm gonna say she's making between 15 to 20,000 a week.
Mm-hmm.
She took $1,000 account last November. She's over 400 some thousand now of this date.
Wow.
That's pretty powerful, isn't it?
It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So that's what Elevate does.
yeah, how can our people get in contact with you, get involved, and how can we support you here?
Okay, so there's two things. They can go on my Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
and my Facebook page is my first name, Julius, Julius, last name Burrell, Burrell, just like it is on the Zoom right now. I'm wearing a suit, so I'm not wearing a shirt, so they can see me. I'm pretty much still got the bald head and everything like that. So they can go on my Facebook page. They can send me a message or Instagram. So
Okay.
Instagram is official Julius Burrell.
I'll put all the links in the description as well. I'll make sure I get them for you.
Okay. And they can reach out to me and said that they saw the Zoom and they're curious about more information.
All right. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And we can set up a call and maybe a Zoom like we're doing right now. And I could do a presentation with them and let them see, the evidence of it.
Wonderful. Yeah, I would love to set that up. Well, Julius, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. Thank you for your
Likewise.
insight. And thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the My Tribe podcast.
All right. Appreciate it, Patrick. Anytime, brother.
Welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.